Well, propaganda. When you talk about propaganda, I think there's a certain dialectic relationship between the transmitter or the propaganda, the message, and then it's like, a transmitter and a receiver. You know, if you don't have a receiver, you're transmitting in vain. So you have the propaganda itself, the message, the nature of that message, and then the people who read it, hear it, see it, who are exposed to it. It's a very inexact science, as anybody in advertising can tell you. Every piece of advertising you ever see is propaganda. Technically, to give a definition of propaganda, it's to spread information that furthers your cause and or harms a competing cause. So, what is the cause of every piece of advertising you ever see? Buy this product, right. Or you need this product. You don't want that product, you want this one. So to increase your own sales and keep ahead of the competition. Now, on a political or national sense, you also have propaganda. And some of it can be extremely subtle. The Nazis, as a matter of fact, were real innovators in the use of mass communication and mass propaganda, all to nefarious ends, as we know, ultimately. And there are many different ways you can use propaganda to bolster your own national identity, national cohesion, and also to, in some ways, particularly in times of conflict, to harm or demonize the other, whoever that other may be, that other group, that other nation, that other whatever, okay? And some of it can be very subtle. I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, it was the Cold War. Growing up in the 1970s, in the late 60s and then into the 1970s. And there used to be a cartoon called Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle and Rocky the Squirrel. And there were elements in that, and I had no idea at the age of 6, when I'm 7 years old when I'm watching this. But as I look back, hindsight being 20/20, there was a certain element of propaganda in that. And what I mean, for example, is that who were among the villains in Bullwinkle? Well, there was Boris and Natasha.
Right.
Both of them dressed in black. Boris is this short little guy. Natasha was this very kind of tall, lithe woman. Both in black. Both, always looking to throw a bomb.
Right.
They were the villains. Look at the names. Those are Russian, what we might associate with being Russian names.
Not to mention their accents as well.
And they had the accent too.
Very
and they're
heavy.
throwing bombs at Bullwinkle. Look out for Boris and Natasha. This is Cold War era propaganda. In this case, directed at children.